Hey there, Flunkie Force. It's Game Flunkie. I know it's been a while, sorry, it's just work's been crazy. I've been working like doubles pretty much. We're gonna have one day off this week, so I'm trying to like recuperate. But anyway, enough about that. Today we're gonna be playing Master x Master, another MOBA into the long series of names of MOBAs out there, created by the likes of NCSoft, the same guys who brought you Guild Wars 2, Blade and Soul, and guess what? City of Heroes. Let's go ahead and check this game out. I've already put some hours into it. I've tried out some of the mechanics and some of the do's and don'ts of the game, so I've got a kind of a good understanding what the game's all about. So, jumping right into it, obviously there's G Flunkie, you know, me and my sexiness. Like typical MOBA, you have your own level, and then your character has his own level. Or master, they call them masters, you call them champions, heroes, cool guys, cool girls, doesn't matter. The cool thing NCSoft did, though, with this title, is they pulled from not only their own reservoir of characters that they created for the game itself, but from a long list of other titles that they have available. Like, for example, where is he at? Well, Rylock from Guild Wars 2, the king, the leader char dude with the horns. He looks awesome as fuck, actually. Hold on, let me see. Can I do a thing where I can... Oh, hold on. I know how to do this. Don't judge me. Store. I'm actually gonna probably do this here now. And go to... Where's he at? Rylock. Boom. Yeah, I know. Check that out. I honestly want to say real quick that they put a lot of detail into their heroes. Obviously, MOBAs don't take much to run, so you know what I mean. But they put a lot of detail into these heroes. Sorry about that, my phone went off. Let's check out another. What's another one? There's Rylock. There's my main character. Now this is one of the many champions that you could choose from, or masters that you could choose from, that aren't a part of Guild Wars 2, Blade and Soul, etc. like that. But what's really cool though is, and by the way, it is in beta, and I'll leave a link to the beta in the description below, so if you guys want to check it out, or if you want to see what it's all about, I'll definitely go ahead and leave that link for you guys. This is Statesman. Now this right here got a little bit of hate from the City of Heroes community. I know a couple of my friends who are big diehard fans of this game, and they're a little kind of heartbroken / disappointed that they, instead of revising this game and, well, more like NCSoft / Cryptic, revising this game and kind of bringing it back to life, they've sort of kind of stole the character. Not stole, but it's a long bullshit argument. Like, I get where the fans are coming from, and it almost seems like kind of like, I don't know, kicking the nuts, but they brought a character back that was beloved, Statesman, and put him into the game. I think he's cool, though. If you actually go look at him in the store, where is he at the bottom? No, that's the dude I'm trying to unlock. Oh my god. Some of these characters are actually pretty hard to unlock. For instance, like, sorry about that. Vaughnak. To unlock Vaughnak, I need to recruit 5 of the champions. I got 2 of them unlocked. And then, now I can buy them straight out with X coins. But I can't buy them with souls unless I get the Girl Power achievement. So, yeah, how about that noise? Which, as you can tell, these are X souls. Now, or X coins, I'm sorry. You get souls and X coins from doing matches and things like that, which I'll get into in a minute. But, real quick, where's Statesman at? Son of a bitch, did they not have Statesman skin? Come on, I just, like... Ah, there he is. Yeah, here we go. That's Statesman. Pretty cool, huh? He's one of the City of Heroes champion guys. So, I mean, a lot of the heroes and champions, or masters, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, are really cool and unique. So, I honestly thoroughly enjoy them. And it's free to play, so a lot of the game has a big item wall market. Nothing that kind of breaks the game, like gives you overpowered shit and stuff like that. But it does unlock a lot of the skins and things in the background. But here's the thing, though. You can unlock a lot of these things simply by playing the game. So there isn't really much of an item wall to put you in what you want between you. You know what I'm saying? But the cool thing is, if you do want to buy it, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. I think the in-game, I don't know as of right now if they have an in-game coin that you can purchase. I'm assuming it's going to be X coins, but because it'll only make sense. But if that's the case, eventually they'll probably release it. Because in the beta, I don't think they're really going to dabble in that too much. If they do, oh yeah, never mind, there it is. If they do, yeah, X coin recharge history. So yeah, you can recharge your X coins and stuff like that. So X coin is the currency you can buy with your real money. So, but I ain't gonna worry about that. But like I said, there is an item wall. Another cool feature is if you pick a master representative, which is by clicking your master to what you use, click the character, and then click master representative. You can change the master that represents you while you're talking to other players. And that's pretty cool. I like that aspect. I know it's kind of like, got nothing really to do with the game, but whatever, shut up. Anyway, going back to Taijin, because I like Taijin, he's my main dude. Where this game starts to separate itself, though, from other styles of MOBAs is this right here. It has a PvE aspect along with your typical PvP aspect. In the PvP aspect, you have Combat Arena, which is technically Team Deathmatch. Hardpoint Capture was like, it's kind of like Conquest if you ever play Battlefield, things of that nature. And then your typical 5v5, where you're fighting in lanes and trying to take over towers and get your enemy's core to destroy it and win the game. One cool thing about this, though, is you actually, in Titan's Ruins, you can actually equip Titan's giant mechs in the middle of battle and have a huge brawl. Like, it's really cool looking. If I get some footage of it later on through the week, I'll definitely showcase it to you guys so you guys can check it out for yourselves. Along with, like, tons of players playing it, though, the one thing, though, I will say that's kind of like the kick in the nards right now is the fact that it takes forever to queue for a PvP match. Now, it could be really bad matchmaking, and it is in beta, so they might be trying to tweak it a little bit, but bear in mind, though, you don't really have to play the PvP at all. You actually kind of go jump over here, and there's different stages. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages you can choose from, as of right now. And they have varying degree of difficulty that you can play on. Now, here's the thing, though. To increase the difficulty that you want to play on, you have to complete them in order as such as you go on. And it is highly recommended after you get past the story mode version of this to play with a team or to do matchmake. Don't try to play the other harder settings by yourself. Because on harder settings, just like a typical ARPG like Diablo, or in, what's the other one I played a while back, I can't remember. Like Diablo or Path of Exile, the enemies do get tougher on harder settings, and better loot, things of that nature, but it's more of a challenge. So keep that in mind as you decide to do that. Now, real quick, jumping into a little bit of the aspects of the masters themselves, using Tajin, I hope I'm saying his name right, Tajin as an example. Like typical MOBAs, he has strengths as weaknesses. What's really neat, though, he has attunements. Now, fire, air, and water, which they all have their different names for what they actually call them: kinetic, helix, and ardent. In this case, fire beats air, air beats water, water beats fire. Typical yin-yang kind of Triforce deal there. But it also has a role like nuker, long range. Some characters are like assault, mid-range. Some are marksman. Some are assault mid. I mean, they all have their varying degree of roles they can play. Typical League of Legends players would probably call them attack damage carries, tanks. What's the other word for them? The guys that jump in between the bushes. I can't think of them. Jugglers, things like that. Like typical MOBAs. What's really cool, though, is when you play a MOBA, if you don't know, you have skills you have during the match that you can power up and use as you gain points by killing enemy minions or enemy players. In this case, if you're playing the PvE aspect of the game, you can use money that you acquire through playing in the matches or PvE to upgrade these abilities. So when you go to play the PvE aspect, now keep that in mind, for the PvE aspect of the game, you can upgrade these abilities and skills and things of that nature, like I did with Tajin here, and they'll be ready to go powered up, kind of like if you level up your character in Diablo or any other in your typical RPG, and it'll be ready to go powered up when you go into the game. Now, that will not happen though when you play PvP, because you're playing the PvP aspect of the game, and you got to earn points to unlock these different abilities, or to power up these different abilities. Now, one other thing you can do though is you can boost the weapon damage of your character, or your weapon. I don't know why I said character. Well, yeah, I guess it's character. You boost the weapon damage by collecting items and resources through doing PvP and PvE. Now, here's the thing. Again, that applies to your PvE level or PvE power. All right, but one thing kind of cool is the node system. In the node system, you can create a custom set of nodes and you can apply them into here, these 6 slots, that grant you certain buffs and stat bonuses. Now, because I'm playing with Tajin, and I believe he's more of a damage and a piercer, I can set up different varying degree of nodes, and they vary too in rarity. There's rare, there's superior, there's standard, and I think there's exotic past rare, but I haven't seen any of those. But anyway, getting back into it, each of these nodes can then power up my character, giving him a little bit more of a buff and more of a power as he fights in PvE. Now, here's the thing. When you go into a PvP match, half of this efficiency is allowed to be used while you're in the match. Not your full power of your nodes, but half of it. So it allows you that creative sort of bonus to your character, so you don't just have the same character as the other guy across the team does. You actually have your own different setups and builds. So it allows you that much of a different kind of aspect of your character, so you all don't keep using the same thing over and over. It allows people to have their own, I guess, unique twist, if that's the best way of putting it. Along with many other things you can do besides the PvE and PvP, you have side quests that you can do. Treasure Hunter, Matchmaker, Silent Blade, playing with different characters, doing certain matches, things like that. And awards you points and things of that nature, like gold and XP and X coins. The thing is, they're really fun to do and really easy to do. You can play the single player campaign by yourself and do story mode on easy and beat the crap out of the game and get some X coins. Simple as that. It's like this. You ever play a MOBA and you get bored and you don't want to keep playing PvP? This allows you to stretch your legs and try other things out while waiting for matches and things of that nature, or your friends to get on. Master x Master kind of opens up that reservoir that MOBAs were kind of lacking since they dawned on MOBA existence. That sort of branch to touch out to a broader spectrum of gamers to allow different aspects of gamers to join into the game. Not just guys simply that want to kill each other, but players that want to have a good, fun experience with their friends by picking up a simple match of PvE and just going on a roll. Now that doesn't mean that the bulk of the game is going to center around PvE. It's probably going to eventually down the road kind of gear towards PvP. But as of right now, Master x Master kind of gives players that choice to pick how they want to play. Something that's rarely seen in the MOBA genre. It'll be interesting to see what NCSoft does down in the future. Now, one last thing I do want to say that kind of really sets this game apart, something that I personally have never seen in any MOBA for that matter, and I'm going to do it right here, right now. So we're going to do Caligo Factory, and we're going to do it on normal. What's this? Special quest you can do during that. We'll do that one. And I'll hit Start Matchmaking, which might take me a minute, so I'll speed over to the matchmaking part of it. So I'll see you guys in about a couple minutes. Alright, so the matchmaking is being kind of difficult tonight for some reason. But each area that you can go to, each different levels, they have their own different stages as well. For instance, Caligo Factory has Munitions Factory, Tesla Lab, Arm Facility, and Mainframe. Which I haven't done Mainframe yet, so I'm going to take you guys through it with me. Now, if I were to matchmake with people, I could choose 2 champions to fight with me. In this case, I'm going to pick Tajan and Lua.
Ordnance on the way.
The cool thing though is that the game will recommend you when in PvE what type of mercenaries or champions to use. In this case, the water or the kinetic types. But because my character's overpowered and he's pretty much maxed out, I really don't have to worry about that being a hindrance. But if any case, if it is, I can just roll back on my middle mouse button. I totally forgot it, the roller, and that allows me to switch between the characters. Now, when you switch between characters, it will have a cooldown like 5-6 seconds, something like that. So you can't do it all the time, but you can do it on the fly if you time it right. One other thing to keep in mind too is this style of picking 2 champions, you can also do it in the PvP aspect of the game as well. So if it kind of again allows players to have their own different style of combat. You're not only just customize with nodes that you share between champions, but it also allows you to pick 2 champions as well, so you can change it up. Maybe you want
activating the files. You've arrived. If you reroute the main system, we can override some core commands.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. But it allows you to play with different aspects of the game, or different aspects of how you want to play. Sorry.
Security system.
Now, just like a typical ARPG like Diablo and
Danger alarm from the central control tower.
Path of Exile, you have little mini quests you have to do and events and things of that nature to get to the next level of the game. Now, as you go through harder settings and harder levels, you will have different events and different things you have to do that makes the game that much tougher. Sometimes you have to destroy certain balls, certain enemies, and therein that lies another cool aspect. Just like ARPGs like Diablo, you can have little cool rare bosses that you have to kill that are hard to find that drop cool materials or new upgrades, things of that nature. So it's something to keep in mind. Like I said before, the one thing that really sets this game apart is its ability to be diversified. You don't have to simply just do one style of gameplay. You can play MOBA part of it, where you play PvP, fight in lanes, things of that nature, or you can be playing the more Diablo aspect of it with your friends. You'll play with 3 or 4 players, I think it is. Having a good time with your friends and kicking butt. Alright.
Full sweep. Lock and load. Sending supplies. Frag out.
As y'all can tell, this is a boss battle. Ooh, that backfired. Now, when you see that thing called weak, the enemy or the boss can be exposed by your stun attacks. That's why my Q ability was able to stun him. Oh, that hurts. Ouch. You are allowed, well, in this case, 3 lives, but if you're playing on hard settings, you get 1 life per character, or per teammate.
can't. Wait till I get back off.
Alright, there you go. So at the end of the match, it'll let you know your attack score, defense score, time score, technique points, activity score, and bonus, if you have a guild. And then, for how well you do, you get a bonus point to allow you to pick at random what box you want to click or want. It allows you 1 extra point the better you do. In this case, I will just randomly start picking. Now, what you can pick, it can vary to some degree. In this case, I'm lucky enough to get a gold or a special item at the end of this. And if I have more X coins, I can buy more of them if I wanted to. Like I said, the game is a lot of fun and allows you different avenues of travel to play certain aspects of the game. So you're not just stuck to doing one thing monotonously over and over. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys try it out. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to try out the beta yourself. I don't know how long it's in beta access for right now. Hopefully it's open forever until it goes full release. If not, if it closes down, I'll definitely be doing more videos in the future of it if and when it goes full release. Thanks again. This is Flunkie.